Real Business Talk with Tom and Till.
Question on Quora is, what are the best interview questions asked? So we both have hired some people. It's hard to give a register for the best questions because it always depends somehow on the field that you're having applicants on.
But what side of the table are you on? Are you the one that's being interviewed, or are you the one interviewing someone?
You're interviewing someone.
I mostly care about the character, about the personality of the person. So I'm just trying to figure that out more than anything. Because a lot of skills can be taught, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have like 20 different WordPress designers, then they're mostly the same. I mean, if you give them a little time and the right push, they can learn anything in that, So then it just comes down to who's going to show up on time, who's going to do what they said that they're going to do. Like it's more about personality than just the skills. And in a lot of other jobs, it's all personality. Because you can teach people a lot of stuff. So
what's a good personality question?
I don't think there's one. That's the thing. I don't think there's one. It's just the way that these people talk and the way, if you tell them to show up, if you tell them something, how they're going to respond to, different things. It's like, it's more than just one. It's more of like a gut feeling and like, see, I was a sales guy for a long time. So I figured out how people react, respond, and after like showing a different face than what they want to actually do. It's just from experience. And I think that's just like really so important for my team, because I can within 3 to 4 minutes kind of figure out, do I want to work with this person or not? But the one question I do hate, and this is a question they say to ask yourself, is do I want to be sitting on a plane next to this person for like 8 hours? That shit doesn't matter.
Right.
You know how many people I sat next to on the plane, which I would never want to sit, but I have,
And you could talk to them, yeah. That's a different thing.
Yeah, and I talk to them for 8 hours because I know, what? This person sucks, but they're going to be gone from my life in 8 hours.
Yeah.
That's such a, wrong thing to ask. So definitely don't ask that one to yourself. But I don't know, Till, take this one. Let me think if I can think of any questions.
I have definitely one question that worked well in my past hiring processes, was basically to ask, what are you doing in your free time? And of course, I'm coming from a technical background. If you have a programmer and he says, in my free time, if a programmer says, in my free time, I'm doing something else than programming also, that's probably not a rock star. Most programmers in the free time, they do something with programming. They either program, do a side project, or normally it's only side projects actually. So something that you get better at, that you contribute your skills to. That doesn't mean that person should be only that, right? But it's a big factor. So for example, if you hire a marketer, what does a marketer do in his free time, right? You want the people who say, I'm in my free time, let's say I'm helping other people do that, or I'm reading books about that, or I'm interested in psychology, for example. I think these things are important. You can have someone sit down for 8 hours and do certain tasks and get really good at it. But to have this motivation, this intrinsic motivation of someone getting better at constantly, that's something you cannot really teach. That's in the character. So it comes back to character questions actually. Yeah.
So the few distinctions I can think of now from what I remember the questions interviewers asked me when I was getting hired and the ones I do. So normally an interviewer will say, do you work well in a team environment? Yes, of course, right? It's like such a fucking dumb answer. But if you ask people how they think about teams, who would they want on their team? Why would they want them on their team? And you start asking these how and why and have them start explaining. After a while, they will lose some of that facade and they will say something which they maybe weren't supposed to. And they'll tell you if this is the type of person you want to work with or not. So by making them think and answer questions which they actually have to have an opinion on, you'll get to it much quicker than just these like, do you like doing this? Do you not like doing that? Which book have you read? What's the one thing that your employer liked about you? What would your employees say about you? Just these things, because they can memorize that stuff. That's not opinions really. Like, what do you think about things? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, or these hypothetical questions that put people in a situation and then their mind is immersed in that situation, and they are basically they tend to answer more honestly. So for example, if you ask a future employee, okay, let's say hypothetically, a rich uncle would pay you $5,000 every month, you would not have to work again ever again. So what would you do? Like if that person would say, well, I might do something related to this, or I would get better, or I would build my own company. I think these questions are interesting.
It is, and it's one like I think Zappos does this, right? If I give you $3,000 now to go away, would you?
Oh, that's interesting. That's a good one.
So these type of curveballs that they kind of like what do you mean? That's just what I meant. Would just different types of opinions on things like what do you think about Shark Tank? Why? Just different stuff where they have to actually explain themselves, and you'll get much more out of that than these questions you get out of books, which everyone kind of gets ready for. Because there's also books that teach how to answer these questions, right? So,
yeah.
If you liked what you heard, please leave us a review on iTunes.
They do matter.
Also, come and hang out with us on our website, yourownwayout.com. That's yourownwayout.com. See you soon.